It's time for the podcast with two guys whose BMI is higher than their IQ. It's the Morning Five, sponsored by Smith's Floor Coverings.
This is a double cheek push here.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Our pets' heads are falling off!
Guess what today is?
I like turtles.
Hump day!
Hump day!
You're my boy, Blue!
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf! We want it now!
I don't know how long this is going to last.
Neither do I, Coach. Wake up, West Georgia. It's time for your favorite morning podcast. It's the Morning Five, and it's a Wednesday edition, which means I get Seabass back. How are you, brother?
Good, my man. I'm good. How you be?
Man, it's good to be back doing the podcast. We mentioned it yesterday on the pod, just the fact that baseball season has been so chaotic. And, you know, with you being all over the place, all over the country essentially with your work, and then Bryce and I constantly calling games, Gavin Booker constantly calling games, Patrick constantly calling games. It was tough to be like, hey, you know, I should be home by about 9:30, 10 o'clock after my game. Do you want to record then? And it's just doesn't work. So glad to be able to get back into this. This is the last week of the regular season for high school baseball, and we should be able to get back in full go, starting probably here in the next couple of weeks. But I'm glad to be back, and we've got a big show to talk about.
It's always a big show when the Bass Man and Weatherman Billy get together.
Yes, sir. Casey Bass, today is National Glazed Spiral Ham Day. You a fan? You out?
No, ham is an abomination before God and man. It is the most disrespectful use for a pig. It is lazy. I am a proud son of the world's greatest butcher, and I know of all the things that you can do with a swine. Please excuse the train coming by. And ham is the laziest one. Just take this thing's fanny and stick it in the oven and pour some honey on it. Come on, man. Get creative. I hate ham. I do not like ham. I am not a fan of ham. I love all things pork, not ham.
He does not like ham, Sam. I am.
No, and it's the most frustrating. Listen, you want to know? Let me tell you, I can prove why ham is the inferior meat.
Okay.
This train, we're in Bremen, and so the train is going to come up my particulars here. So I apologize to everyone at home on this early Wednesday morning. If you go to a sandwich shop, we'll just say Subway, the most basic of basic restaurants, and you look at all of the sandwiches on the menu, almost, I'd say 90% of the sandwiches that include more than one meat have ham in them. You know why? Because it's cheap. It's just cheap. That's why, because it's cheap. It's cheap protein, and it offends me, and I hate it.
Fair enough. It is also National Banana Day. How are you on bananas?
No beef with bananas. Billy eats them sideways, though.
Yeah, definitely. It's like a hot dog for me. I got And the first spit take of the 2026 season has happened.
I'm about to spit out my Arnie Palmy.
And Casey, a day that's near and dear to yours and my hearts, it is National Jackie Robinson Day.
Oh, yes. That is not at all offensive. That is excellent. Why is today National Jackie Robinson Day? Is it his birthday?
Today, back in 1947, I believe, was the day that he made his debut with the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Same exact year that Charles Jetmore was playing bass guitar up in
he was
Chattanooga.
He retired from Major League Baseball 2 years prior, and then started his band career.
Jetmore?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's get to our topics. And our first topic was the 2026 Masters. This past weekend was phenomenal. Rory wins again. First back-to-back winner at the Masters since 2002. But what was very unique about Rory's weekend was the fact that he went even the entire weekend. And that's very uncommon for a winner just to go even for the weekend.
Build a big lead and hold on, right, is what he did. Um, the thing that was frustrating to me was that Sunday set up to be one of the greatest final rounds in Masters history, and it just never developed. I think that as the year goes on, we're going to hear more and more about the golf course. I think that as the day went on, the golf course got really, really hard. The guys weren't hitting great shots, but you just could not hold the greens. I think that they had started to turn colors. You could see it on TV. You could see some brown and some purple. Uh, and by TV, I mean on my iPad sitting next to the pool where I am right now. Um, and I just think that the golf course got really difficult. Scotty Scheffler made a run. What he did was outstanding. Once again, Justin Rose just can't get it done. That guy's going to go down as top 10, top 15 Masters competitors of all time and never win one.
Yeah, what was the comment you made about him about the world's greatest bridesmaid?
He is at the Masters. He's the world's greatest bridesmaid. That guy is always going to be in the top 5, and he's not going to win a golf tournament. And I don't have an issue with Justin Rose. I kind of wish the guy would get one, but he just can't seem to find a way to get it done. And it just felt like there was a lot of opportunities on Sundays for somebody else to win that golf tournament. And Rory hit a shot on 12 that I think 6 holes before it was over with kind of put a knife in everybody. I think he hits that dagger in there, and that was kind of the golf tournament. It was a good tournament, but it wasn't great. It could have been great. It's not Rory's fault that nobody rose to the occasion, but that's basically what happened. Nobody rose to the occasion. Scotty made a run, but Rory just did what it took to win. And what's wild is, he's even on the weekend. He played an A+ first 2 rounds and a B- last 2 rounds. So you give him a B effort for the tournament and he wins it.
Yeah.
What happens if Rory puts an A+ out there? Nobody's going to get within 6 strokes of him.
Yeah. It was honestly really unreal, and not to bring weather into this, but the fact that there hadn't had any rain in Augusta for it feels like 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, it rained on us briefly when we were walking out, and we'll get to that here in a little bit. The week before, but for the fact that we hadn't had any substantial rain in Augusta for a while, and that just made the greens just tough. There was no softness to it. They were watering the greens as soon as we were trying to walk away from it on that Saturday that we left. And it was just, it's hard to hold on to a green that's just that difficult. And they make those greens difficult to begin with. And then when there's zero softness to it, it's very, very difficult to not only putt, but to keep a approach shot onto it. So
it was warm. And on Sunday, and what got me excited was Sunday morning, there was some low scores. It was a 64, maybe there was a 64 or a 65. And I was telling Pat Ferguson, I was like, oh, there might be some fireworks this afternoon, but they had no wind. It was a lot softer. And it appeared to me as soon as the leaders got to 3 or 4, the wind picked up and the wind started blowing. And then it blew all afternoon. And, we talk a lot about the greens at Augusta, but I think the biggest factor always is going to be that wind. If there's no wind at Augusta, it's there for the taking, especially with some of the pins that they had on Sunday. But the wind dried it out. And it has 2 effects. It dries out the greens, makes them faster, makes them harder to hit or harder to hold. And it gets above those big, 120-year-old pine trees, and it plays havoc with the golf ball. And that's one of my things with Rory Rory hits the golf ball really high. And when the wind's blowing at Augusta, you hit the ball above that tree line, and it can get kind of squirrely. Now, it also helps you hold the greens when you hit the ball really high. And so it goes both ways. But yeah, it was a fun tournament. It was beautiful. A lot of nonsense. And the reason that I can never work for ESPN is that I just can't do the worldwide leader and hype stuff. They're on there, complaining about all the social media is stupid. People complain about Rory taking practice rounds, which is dumb. Everybody who plays in it can go play as much as they want. He just took advantage of it. And then B, them complaining about on social media about social media influencers and Jason Kelsey and the like being at the par 3 tournament and all that. It had zero effect on Thursday. Monday through Wednesday is a carnival and it's fun. Yes, it is reserved and there's no running and you act right, but it's the greatest sporting event on earth. Bring some more attention to it, and anything that involves Jason Kelsey, I'm down with. The par 3 tournament is fun. It's fun. It's loud. Like if you've never been to a par 3 tournament at Augusta, you're going to see hole in ones. You're going to see little kids hitting golf shots. It's not at all serious. It's not at all serious. Like nobody's trying to win the par 3 tournament. No one's ever won it and the tournament. It's just fun. So yeah, introduce some people who were having a good time. I don't care. It's just dumb. It's just stupid. I thought it was a great week. We had a great time, and I was thrilled with my weekend. I had a real good weekend out here by the pool watching the event.
Yeah, it was a good weekend for sure. So our second topic, you had an idea, but you never got back to me, so I wasn't sure if you had one. I do have a backup topic, but you're not going to like it.
I am.
Nope. It is ESPN has put out their way too early top 25, and I'm going to give you the top 10. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
it. Coming in at number 10, the Texas A&M Aggies. They were 11-2 last year, started 11-0 before fading late. Marcel Reed returns and needs to be more consistent. Heavy losses on both lines addressed via the portal. New offensive coordinator Holman Wiggins takes over the play calling for the Aggies.
First off, let me say this. For all those listening at home, I think it's very important, as much as get on Billy and make fun of him and pick at him, to point out growth. And folks, we've got growth here. We have Billy with a top 25 list, and he's only doing the top 10 without any feedback from me. So good job, bud. That's excellent. Second thing is this. I saw a dude do a 17-team parlay this week. 17-team parlay. Now, if you have a 17 anything parlay and it comes in, that's like $10 to win $1 million. Okay?
Right.
His 17-team parlay was for teams that were going to miss the playoff. Do you know what that parlay will pay if he hits it?
No idea.
Even money.
Are you serious?
I was like, Oregon State and App State and Georgia Southern. Come on, dude. Now it wasn't like that. It was but it was like there was like 3 teams on there that really like could sneak in.
What?
But yeah, it was like, why are you're doing a 17-team parlay that'll pay 1-to-1, idiot. Finally, yeah, I think that at some point Texas A&M is going to break through. Having them at number 10, I get it. They've got the money, and at this point, it's whoever's these top 10 teams are probably the top 10 richest teams. They've got the biggest NILs, I would think.
Number 9, the Ole Miss Rebels. Last year they were 13-2. Pete Golding has taken over, and it will be his first full year as they led him to a CFP semifinal berth last year. Quarterback Trinidad Chambliss won a court battle for another year of eligibility, which means he will be back in 2026, and they've got a new OC and faster pace expected for this year.
Faster pace?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm selling on Ole Miss until I see them.
Fair enough. Number 8, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. 12-2 last year, spent big to revamp the offense after it sailed in the college football playoff. Dual threat Brendan Sorsby from Cincinnati leads a rebuilt skill group, big losses on defense to replace up front.
Well, they don't play defense anyway, so that doesn't matter. They've got all the money in the world, so I'm sure they put together a heck of a roster. So I can see absolutely Texas Tech making the playoff.
Number 7, the Miami Hurricanes. They were 13-3 last year. Looked like a step back year until Duke quarterback Darian Mensah entered the portal and signed with Miami. He threw for 3,900 yards and 34 touchdowns as a sophomore. He's immediately thrown in as a Heisman contender.
Okay. Well, yeah, I get it. Okay, Miami, top 10 team, great, but you're going to throw this kid in as a Heisman kid. Let's shut up.
Number 6, the Indiana Hoosiers, 16-0 for the first time ever, national champions. Defending champs must replace Heisman-winning quarterback Fernando Mendoza, but Coach Kirk Cignetti hit the portal hard again. TCU transfer Josh Hoover steps in at quarterback, and star left tackle Carter Smith returns.
You know my issue with this one?
Yep, they should be number 1.
When you win it all, you are number 1 until you lose.
I will tell you this, and you'll probably get a clue from this. I completely disagree with the number 1 team.
Well, I mean, I disagree with them right now. It doesn't matter who they are. They're not the Indiana Hoosiers. Those guys have had a phenomenal season last year. Cignetti's still there. You know, they had good quarterback play, but they won because of Cignetti. He ain't left.
Yeah.
So, you know, the longer he's there, the less James Madison players he has. Think about that. The longer he's there, the less James Madison players are on that team.
This is true.
And I'm a Sun Belt guy, but I'm also a Sun Belt guy. And I understand now you're no longer, yes, when you come into Indiana, you got to bring those guys with you because you can't convince anybody to come to Indiana. You ain't got that problem no more. You convince everybody to come to Indiana because you're the champ, baby. So, yeah, this is nonsense. They should be number 1.
Number 5, the Texas Longhorns, 10-3 last year, going all in with what may be Arch Manning's final college season. Added the number 1 portal wide receiver in Cam Coleman and brought in Will Muschamp as the new defensive coordinator to fix a struggling defense.
I'm out on Texas.
You're done?
They're the Justin Rose of college football.
Fair enough. That's
what they are. Like every year, they're look at it. Oh my God! Every year, I listen to ESPN. Texas. Shut up. Win something.
Casey Bassett's favorite team comes in at number 4, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, 10-2 last year. Left out of the college football playoff last year, but primed to return in 2026. Lost a lot of production at running back, but quarterback CJ Carr is back for year 2, and 9 of the top 10 tacklers on defense return.
I cannot, for the next 4 years, besmirch the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. I got Jonas Walton up there. Actually surprised they're this low. Thought they might be higher. But I just realized something.
What's that?
Alabama's not going to be in this list.
Nope.
So we're Georgia at 3, LSU at 2, and Ohio State at 1.
LSU's not on this list either.
Oh, really?
Really?
All right, we'll keep going.
Number 3, the Georgia Bulldogs, 12-2 last year, the second youngest team in the SEC last year. Georgia won the SEC title again. Gunnar Stockton returns for year 2 as the starter. Running back Nate Frazier stays, and Kirby Smart retooled the secondary via the transfer portal.
And 18 amazing tight ends. Georgia's going to win the national championship.
Including the chosen one.
The chosen one, Caden Prothro, baby. Who I keep hearing is, like, showing out.
Tearing it up in spring practice.
Just imagining him in the University of Georgia nutrition and weight program. When we see him again, I haven't seen Caden since the state championship game.
Okay.
When we see Caden again, I don't know that we will recognize him. I bet you they put 25 pounds of muscle on that kid, and he'll be just as fast.
Patrick saw him recently. He came back to Bowden and took a picture with him at a baseball game, and Patrick was able to take a picture, and he looks large.
Already?
Yeah.
You still got, 5 months?
Yeah. Right.
They feed, he'll be there all summer. I'm just telling you. Watch out.
Number 2, the Oregon Ducks. Dante Moore surprisingly returns after flirting with the NFL draft. New coordinators on both sides of the ball after Stein and Lupoy left for head coaching jobs, but key defensive pieces, including all Big Ten selections, are back.
They're the Gonzaga of college football. I'm so over the Oregon Ducks. like seriously, how do you leave LSU off this list and you've got Oregon in there again? This is the most Charlie Brown pull the football away how do they keep fooling people?
Don't know. Let me
They've
see.
never won. They've never won. Ever. Not once.
It was Mark Schlabach who did this list, and he had LSU at 11.
I got LSU at 3, Georgia at 2, I think.
Okay. And number
Ohio
one,
State at 1.
Number one, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Quarterback Julian Sayin, running back Bo Jackson, and Jeremiah Smith all return, giving Ohio State one of the most dangerous offenses in the country. New offensive coordinator Arthur Smith hired to replace Brian Hartline. Stout defense under Matt Patricia returns mostly intact.
Did you say Arthur Smith?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to take them and move them to 6 based off of that piece of information. Move Indiana down to 1. Shoot Oregon into the sun with a cannon, and have Georgia at 2 and LSU at 3. LSU is watch out.
Okay.
I don't care. The son of a gun can coach football, and now he is doing it at LSU with LSU's pocketbook and LSU's state house. And watch out for Lane Kiffin, boys. I'm just telling you. SEC championship game is Georgia and LSU.
Fair enough. Love it. All right.
Why were you fist pumping?
Braves just took a 6-5 lead as they have come all the way back from being behind. Dominic Smith just drove in 3 runs, and it's 6-5 Braves over the Marlins in the 8th.
Dominic Smith's having a year already.
He is, man. He's having a great season, and thankfully, it makes us really say jerks and who.
Don't let the Atlanta Braves get healthy. They're doing this banged up, man.
Yeah.
I mean, all like banged up.
Yeah. According to and our buddy Gavin Booker is going to get a chance to see Sean Murphy catch in Rome the next 3 the 3 of the next 4 days or something like that, and then Spencer Strider is coming down to pitch in Rome on Thursday. So it's going to be a fun little trip for Gavin Booker up in Rome for a little bit. But
so Strider is pitching to Murphy on Thursday.
Yes,
in Rome. That'd be worth a trip.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Strider pitches 4 innings? Murphy catches 4 or 5.
I think it said 45 to 55 pitches. I think is what it said.
2 innings. So 2 innings.
All right, so let's get to our top 5 moments. And this one I sent to you this morning, top 5 moments from our trip to Augusta National. For those of you who did know, and I talked briefly about this yesterday on the pod, Casey Bass, Bryce Sparling, and Kevin Collins got a chance to go to Augusta National and see the ANWA, the Augusta National Women's Amateur Tournament, the final round of that tournament, and it was a blast. Had a great time with the boys, and it was very, very unique. And I told Casey, I said, let's come up with a top 5 moments from the trip.
Well, first off, I refuse to call it that because it sounds too much like NAMBLA. So not doing that. We went and saw the ladies amateur at the National. That's what we did. Yeah. And that's the way to go, man. It was like 15 or 20% of the people there. It was just awesome. We had a great trip.
There was still a lot of people there. Don't get me wrong. Like there was still a good bit of people on the grounds, but nothing like it was the following weekend. But you want to give me your number 5?
Number 5. This went on all day, but mainly, we were sitting. Where were we? 16. We were sitting next to 16. Is that where we were? We were sitting in the grass, and me and Bryce pointing out to me all of the fake birds that were really video cameras and government drones all day long. He's like, hey, look at the size of that hawk over there. He hadn't moved. That's a camera. I'm telling you, that's a camera. And then the security guy coming by and making him move his big old feet because he's so tall. He was sitting on the ground. He bought a chair. He
Yep.
lugged the chair around all day, sat on the ground, let me sit in the chair. I was like, we could sit in the chair. He's like, here, sit in the chair. So he sits in the chair. Well, when he sits on the ground, he's 6'7", so his big old feet have gotten underneath the ropes. And the guy's walking over to say something to him, and then he gets there and he looks at him and he realizes this is a giant human. And so he couldn't have been any sweeter to Bryce. I think he said something like, I know it's tough, big guy, but your feet are sneaking out under the thing. Yeah, that's number 5, was Bryce pointing out to me all of the quote unquote secret cameras. Those aren't birds, those are cameras.
Speaking of my number 5, speaking of something that went on all day, my embarrassing moment for the entire day. Apparently, so when we got there, we hit up the merch tent. We got the merch, and then I ran to the bathroom because it had been like 2 hours since we got there, including waiting in line for the merch and whatever. Went to the bathroom, and what I didn't realize was when I zipped up my zipper, my shirt was coming out of my zipper
all day,
and including our picture in front of the clubhouse. Which,
well, the problem is you don't drink beer,
no,
so you never had to go pee. So that was like the only time you peed all day. Now Bryce never went to the bathroom.
I don't think he did. I think he
not one time.
He had to have worn diapers, right?
Including the drive back.
Right.
Like we left at 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. We left at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
We got back to Villa Rica at what? 5 in the afternoon?
It was later than that. I think it was like 6. Yeah.
The man never peed.
He didn't. He didn't. But yeah, having my shirt coming out of my zipper for the entire day, and Casey turning around to me in the parking lot as we're walking out and going, "Hey, bud, your shirt's coming out of your zipper." And I'm like, has this been going on all day? And then we look at the picture in front of the clubhouse, and yep, it sure has.
I'm honestly proud of the rest of the 3 guys in my group that nobody noticed it.
Yeah, no joke.
Number 4 favorite thing that happened on our trip to the National, just laughing in the van with the fellas. For those of you who don't know, we could probably do a comedy special if you just put me and Bryce in the same room where Billy Lindahl is. Billy doesn't even have to do anything. It's just going to be me and Bryce making fun of Billy. We love him. We adore him. But something about the two of us getting together and the target that gets put on this poor man's head. And because Billy's so sweet, he just keeps talking about stuff and he gets irritated with us, but it's funny. So he's laughing while he's pissed at us, which does nothing but encourage us. So we were messing with Billy about the weather all the way. We laughed. I thought we were going to wreck. Me and Bryce were hyperventilating in the front of the van, basically just entertaining each other, trying to make the other one laugh. It was so much fun. It was one of my favorite road trips I've ever been on.
That first freaking rain shower that we had going out to the National, you guys were on my nuts like immediately, and I'm like, what? This is how this day is starting? Okay.
We can't help but just play. If one of us says anything directed at Billy, it's a free for all. We're basically the same person. We're just finishing each other's sentences and really just trying to pop. I'm trying to pop Bryce, and Bryce is trying to pop me. We're just spending the entire trip trying to make the other one laugh. And poor Kevin's probably sitting in the back seat like, what in the hell have I gotten myself into? It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And we got lucky with the weather. It rained on us going, and it rained on us coming home. Didn't rain a drop while we were there.
It was gorgeous. My number 4, this one was just kind of personal for me. The walking into the merch store, like as soon as you called me and told me, hey, do you want to go? I immediately was like, yeah. But this second thought that ran through my head was, okay, how much money do I need to put back for this merch store? And I told the girlfriend, I was like, I'm probably going to like walk out of there with $400 worth of merch. And
how'd that work out?
Almost doubled it. And
I did. I was 400. I was the cheapie. I was the cheapie of the group.
But let's tell everybody why you were the cheapie of the group.
Well, first off, no. I finished within my budget. My budget was $500. That was what I took out for the whole day, not for merch. I was like, I'm gonna $500
Yep.
for everything. But $20 and just you spend $20 on food and bev and you had a great day. Like
100%.
So, I spent $425, but what I did, because I'm an idiot, was I took $500 cash out. Well, I don't take cash at Augusta National. Like maybe the line of the day was, we're in line, like walking and thing, and I realized, oh God, all I've got's cash. It like occurred to me somehow, and Kevin says, "What century?" I was like, dude, this is the most good old boys club of all time. Every one of them's got $1,000 cash in their pocket at all time. How do you not take cash there? I get you couldn't take cash there. That would be a nightmare, but it didn't occur to me. I thought if I take out cash, it's the most responsible way to go, right?
Right.
Well, I moved on that. I used credit card and went home, paid off the credit card, but it was me trying to be responsible.
But walking in there and that was mine and Bryce's first time at Augusta. That had been yours and Kevin's. You'd been there before, but walking in, I think you get a little bit overwhelmed initially because there's just so much. Like, where do I go first? It's unreal when you walk in there, and
Bryce was dressed like a Make-A-Wish offensive tackle that got to go to Augusta National for the first time ever. This fool was strapped up. He had this little bitty book bag on that he was asking so much of just to stay on his back. Then he had his binoculars around his neck, his polo shirt tucked in. It was maybe a medium. He's got his hat. He had his. Did he have a fanny pack? No, he was pissed when I said you should have brought a fanny pack. He was angry that he didn't think about it.
Yep.
It was the funniest thing. God, I laughed all day. I laughed all day.
Yeah, it was pretty great. What's your number 3?
Sleeping all the way home. That was one of the best naps I've ever had in my life. Poor Bryce. Like, we laughed all the way there, and the three of us were out for the entire trip coming home. And Bryce is just singing and driving. I think we all three woke. And then I turned around and looked at you two. It was like y'all were in Delta One lounge back there. You had them seats. I didn't even know the seats in a van would do that. Y'all were like, I could see your feet.
When Bryce brings his $90,000 vehicle out, and they've got the reclining seats in the back and you've got a footrest and everything, of course I'm going to recline and enjoy the hell out of it.
I didn't know that was a thing. I turned around. I could see y'all's feet up in the air. I was like, how are they? Like the whole thing. I was like, this is, I calling shotgun might have not been the play. You guys were gone.
It was comfortable.
Gone.
It was definitely comfortable. My number 3, you're going to lose it here. Short. So the story behind this, we are on 16 and we are like dead center.
I couldn't remember what the funniest thing that happened all day was. You just reminded me. Thank you. Continue.
We're dead center of the pond, off to the right of the tee boxes. And when you see a ball go in the air, it's when initially it's like, oh, that looks short. So I kept saying short. Ends up like 4 feet from the hole. And I was like, but wait, it's short of the hole. By God, but 4 feet short.
Billy is the worst tracker of a golf ball in the history. Oh, short. And he wasn't saying it loud, like he was saying it under his breath. But he's standing up. I'm sitting in Bryce's chair, and he's standing up right next to me, so he's in my ear. And he did it like 3 times in a row. And I finally was like, dude, what are you watching? Like, have you never seen anyone hit a golf ball? And so me being me, I just got on him. And it's Augusta, so it's not loud. Like, it's just me talking to Billy, but it's silent. So like 8 people around us were crying laughing because as soon as I started, the big Sasquatch that was laid out on the grass perked up. And he had to get in on it. And then Kevin jumps in on it. And Billy is just blood red embarrassed because it was the funniest shit ever. Oh, I got a little fat. It's 6 feet behind the hole. He was over. And I was like, Billy, if you call every golf shot short, eventually one of them's going to be short, but not you. Everyone you've said is short has been at the pin. Every single one of them. Because these girls can hit it.
Yeah, that was my number 3.
Phenomenal. Number 2. Getting to watch Billy and Bryce see Augusta National for the first time and making sure that they looked up at the right moments. Like as we came around, going up to 16, as we came around the corner, we were walking to 16 and grabbing them both. They were in front of me and pointing and saying, "Look up," because you're looking everywhere, and you're looking at your book, and you're not on your phone, but you're looking at the yardage book. You're talking to each other. If you're Bryce, you're looking at your peach ice cream sandwich, of which he had 9, and grabbing both of them and saying, "Look up right now." When you come around the corner and you're walking down the 16th green, and you look up and it is literally a wall of azaleas over the lake.
Yep.
The prettiest green on the course, and the azaleas, getting to be there for you guys' first opportunity to be at that magical place, and you being 2 of my best friends, and getting to watch you both experience that's my number 2, and it's very close to being number 1.
Yeah, very much appreciated. My number 2, and this is no surprise from the fat guy, but
thank Mike McKinney.
Yeah, no joke. Thank you, Mike. The food. The food was, a lot of people just talk about how the food is completely underrated, and I would tend to agree. Like it's so simple and easy, and it's a grab and go, and it's wonderful, and it's so streamlined. I don't think the entire day, I think I stood in line for food maybe a total of 3 minutes, maybe. And we went through the food lines a few times, not only for food, but for drink too. But not only the pimento cheese sandwich, the egg salad sandwich, which I didn't have one. I had the chicken sandwich. I had one of those peach ice cream sandwiches. It was just.
Candy bar.
I did have the candy bar. Yeah, and the candy bar was good.
You didn't offer me any.
I did offer you. You said no.
No, you didn't. You must have for one of the other fellas.
Oh, it may have been when you were. It may have been when you were going to one of your like 15 bathroom breaks that you took.
Yeah, I go to the restroom.
Yeah,
I'm not a cyborg like you guys. Number 1 for me, egg salad sandwiches. I had 5. I had 5 of them. I had 5.
Yeah.
I had 4. I had 4 egg salad sandwiches, a pimento cheese sandwich, which I only have because it's tradition. Pimento cheese at the Masters is a tradition. It's not my favorite pimento cheese sandwich in the world. It's $1.50. It's great. My pimento cheese that I make here, I like it better. But it's whatever. Like I get it. Very few people put egg salad at the top of their Masters menu. It's my favorite thing to eat there. Barbecue sandwich. I had 4 egg salad sandwiches. I had a pimento cheese sandwich. I had an ice cream sandwich. And that was it. And then a few beers and several sweet tea or Arnold Palmer, which I'm having one right now. Arnold Palmer. This is the sea bass version with the Master's Cup.
Nice.
It's unsweet tea with Crystal Light lemonade. Arnold Palmer.
Nice.
So sugar free. But yeah, that was my number one. And you know what nobody talks about. I'll give an honorable mention because nobody talks about this. You have seen, folks, endless wall-to-wall coverage of the Masters all week long, and you have heard nobody talk about it.
Oh yeah,
I just don't know because they didn't go in there.
No,
I know. When you walk in the door at Augusta National to the bathroom, there's like 3 dudes standing there, and they go, "Urinals on your left. If you need a stall, say stall." And if you say stall, they'll point to you. They'll point to another guy who will then tell you, "Come here," and he will say, "Hold on a second," and we'll go in and clean the toilet before you go into the stall. They clean the toilet every single person. There are dudes who all they do all day long. Bucky's can kiss my butt. Bucky's because we got the cleanest bathrooms in America. So, no, you don't. Augusta National does, which means there is next door a room full of women doing the same thing twice as much. Because every single woman that goes in there uses a stall. They clean the toilet seats after every single person with a spray bottle and a towel. Every person. The whole tournament.
Yeah.
That's my honorable mention. I mean, that's the one thing. When you talk about next level, that's next level, brother.
I saw a video this week that said that at one of the bathrooms, the guys will be like, front 9 or back 9?
If you need a stall, say stall. That's what I said every time I walked in. If you need a stall, say stall.
My number one is the moment that we stepped on the turf for the first time at Augusta National. It was a very. I did. I walked out and I'm like, I don't belong here. When you first step out there, it literally feels like it's not real, and it is the most pristine grass you've ever stepped on. It is the most pristine turf you've ever stepped on. It's unreal, and I was so thankful to be able to go, to be able to watch, and be able to see everything. You know, it was insane. Absolutely loved it.
It was a great trip, and I was so happy that we got to do it together.
Thanks, Mike McKinney.
Thank Pat Ferguson too, because as much as I love you, had Pat Ferguson not been on a cruise with his family, he'd have been my first call. Because there's nobody that loved that golf tournament more than my buddy Pat.
Yeah.
But I looking back on it, I'm glad he's on a cruise because I didn't know you had never been until I asked you to go. So thanks, Sammy Holiday. That's where we got the tickets. Sam won the lottery. And because it was a HSM thing, you know, I did HSM people plus Kevin because me and Kevin have a deal.
Right.
And have forever. And this is the first time I've ever been able to provide Kevin with a ticket. He has provided me with it 3 times. He's won the lottery 3 times. But this was the first time. I've been in this lottery for 26 years, 28 years. I've never won it.
Yeah.
And then the freaking kid gets in and wins it his first shot. So, and then didn't want to go. So thanks to Sambo. So I had to bring. So it was 3 HSM guys and him. And you know, Mike was the first one to answer mine when I put it out there, and then Mike couldn't go. So that's how Billy ended up, which worked out great. It worked out perfect.
Yep. My number 5, my embarrassing moment. Number 4, the merch store. Number 3, it's short. Number 2, no surprise from the fat guy, the food, and the moment. Number 1, the moment I stepped onto the turf of Augusta National for the first time.
Number 5, identifying the birds that are actually cameras with Bryce, allegedly. Laughing in the van with the fellas at Weatherman Billy. sleeping all the way home. Sorry, Bryce. Watching Billy and Bryce see Augusta National for the first time, and egg salad.
Do we do an Uncle Casey's soapbox?
I don't have a gripe in the world.
Okay, so we'll just
all is good. I got nothing to complain about.
Let's get out to the Marine South scoreboard in Major League Baseball. Braves pull off the victory 6-5. They move to 11-7 on the season. Great win as they were down pretty much the entire game until the 8th inning, and Dom Smith came back and won it for the Braves. In high school baseball, Bowden beats Manchester 19-2. They secure the region title for the 4th year in a row. So congratulations goes out to Brian Vance and the Bowden Red Devils. Bremen beats Mount Bethel 11-1 on senior nights. So big shout out to Bremen. 2 games left on their schedule. They've got Callaway this week and Bowden on Friday. Northside beats Central 7-5. Central had to crawl all the way back into this game as it was pretty ugly early, and Central stayed in it pretty late, but ultimately fall to Northside. I believe that secures us the 4 seed in region play, which means that we will go to Marist for the first round. So
I feel like that's a disappointment, that 4 seed.
Yeah, 20. We're now 20-8 on the season after yesterday's loss, and all 8 losses are against top 10 opponents. It's
just a good region.
Yep. Model beats Haralson County 5-3. Heard County falls to Darlington 8-2. Tryon beats Mount Zion 17-7. Pepperell beats Temple 22-3. And South Paulding surprises Villarica in Villarica 15-8 with a win. So apparently a bad first inning, which was ultimately the cost of the game, because South Paulding scored 7 in the first inning off of 5 errors from Villarica.
And that's always the Villarica story. That's how they lose. I feel like every time I've seen Villarica lose a big game, it's been errors over the last 4 years.
The Smiths Floor Coverings games and events calendar for tonight in high school baseball. Northside is at Central 5:30. You can hear that live on the Central Lions radio network with yours truly on the call. Also in Major League Baseball, Marlins at Braves 7:15. The rubber match between the 2 division opponents, and you can hear that on Braves Vision tonight. Casey, need another cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Another cup of coffee brought to you by Realtor Hannah Strawn with Century 21 Novus. Diana Rossini resigns from the Athletic amid the rumors of an affair with Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel.
Didn't appear to be very rumory to me.
Yeah. Allegedly. We'll be safe and say allegedly. We'll just say that.
Okay. She's married, right?
She is, and so is Mike.
Do you think that their spouses saw the one picture? There are several pictures, but the one picture of the 2 of them with their fingers interlocked on both hands, staring at each other and smiling by the swimming pool, and then both spouses were like, "Yeah, it's no big deal."
Yeah, it's just Vrabel. It's just Rossini. No big deal.
Right. Like, yeah, no. That's unfortunate.
Sharon Moore avoids jail time and gets 15 months of probation for his arrest that led to his firing up at that team up north.
What a shit show that was.
Buddy.
It's undefeated.
Like, I'm watching it and going, "Oh, only probation? Sad day."
It's undefeated.
Alex Ovechkin might have played his final game last night versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. Ovi, Hall of Famer, easy Hall of Famer.
What is he, 100?
He is 41, I believe. He's a year older than me. Yeah,
he's 100.
Or he may be my age, honestly. Now that I think about it, he may be 40. He looks a lot older, but that's Russian years too. That's Russian 40. So
long, hard winter.
it is, man. And then finally on this day in 1997, Major League Baseball retires Jackie Robinson's 42 across all teams.
Well, that's why today's Jackie Robinson Day.
Well, no, Jackie Robinson is because he had his first game ever as a Brooklyn Dodger back in 1947.
Okay, so that's why they retired it on this day.
Right. And I think Major League Baseball will have everybody play or wear 42s tonight. Since Pee Wee Reese said maybe we can all wear 42 so no one could tell who you are. Allegedly.
This would be the one time that me as a broadcaster would be like, okay, I'm down with the number shenanigans. Because you know me. I need clear numbers are there to identify so that we can tell who's who. For this, it's a good thing. I like it.
Yeah. Got anything else for me?
Excited. We have recently discovered the Fox Theater with my very artsy-fartsy 14-year-old. By the way, have we been on here since my kid won Best Actress?
No.
Shout out to Lizzie Bass.
Shout out.
In the student-directed one-act competition / festival, whatever it was, 6 schools in Haralson County. It's like 80 kids. My kid won Best Actress.
Not a girl?
As a freshman. How about that? But we went and saw Harry Potter and the Cursed Child at the Fox, which was a lot of fun. We had a great time. The first act was just not very good. I was trying to be positive. I was just sitting there like, this is actually like not good. Now the special effects, you heard me right. The special effects
in theater
in this theater production, mind blowing.
Really?
And so that whole first act, I was like, this is a terrible play. But I'm glad I'm here because this is like watching a literal magic show. Like what they're pulling off out there is something else. Second act was really good. It was really good. We had a really good time. But we are going back to the Fox Theater in June, I believe. I'm going to look. We've got tickets. They are for movies at the Fox. They are showing my favorite movie, High Fidelity, at the Fox. And my favorite actor, John Cusack, will be there speaking before and after the movie and doing a Q&A. So I am extremely excited about that. So, a lot of I'm the sports guy who talks theater because that's what my life is because my kid's a theater kid and I'm very proud of her. So she's been in there making wigs all day long for Grease the Musical. And she's got 8 wigs to make for the high school musical, which she's really good at. So that's what we live around here. The theater life.
That's awesome.
Jazz hands.
Congrats to Lizzie. That's awesome.
Very proud of her.
All right, that's going to do it for us on a Wednesday edition of the Morning Five. For Casey Bass, I am Billy Lindahl. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow or whenever. Same time, same place.
Love you, made it.
Bye now.